Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Inside Furman Athletics. I say this is the regularly scheduled edition. We did a bonus edition yesterday with Bob Ritchie, but this is the regular Tuesday edition of the show, and we're going to talk women's tennis with Michelle Dasso, whose team has put together another marvelous regular season heading into the SoCon championships this weekend at Chattanooga as the number one seed. So you've got nothing to complain about, right?
Right now, life's pretty good.
There's always that qualifier in the coaching world, though, right now.
Exactly.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for making time on your birthday to chat about women's tennis.
Hey, this is what we do. It doesn't whatever falls on the calendar that day. That's the day we roll with. But thank you very much. It has been another really good season for the women's tennis program. And you're doing it with an extremely young team, aren't you?
They sure are. Yeah, we have 6 freshmen, so 6 out of 7 players are freshmen, but they haven't acted like it this year. So showed a lot of maturity, especially in big moments, and obviously going undefeated in the regular season is pretty impressive. Proud of them.
So walk me through the recruiting process and how things have gone the last couple of years, because I have to imagine that 6 freshmen wasn't the plan.
that was challenging in all my years of coaching. That's definitely never been the case, but I'll tell you what, pretty pumped with who I ended up with. So we got a great squad. I mean, unbelievable competitors, great people, strong character. And the best part is we work so hard, but we have so much fun, Dan. We laugh so hard at practices and in the car rides and in our trips and our spring breaks. And they certainly laugh at me quite a bit.
Yeah, and that's really good if you can find that balance, because it can't be so tedious that you're not having fun. I mean, you were a player, you got into coaching because you enjoyed the sport, and you have to find ways to maintain that joy.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, we're getting to do something that we love, and the girls really truly are each other's closest friends. So that's just such an added bonus. And to be able to accomplish what they've accomplished with a group of friends is just doesn't get much better.
And of course, there's a lot of joy in winning.
that helps. That certainly helps.
All right, so let's talk about your team, and I think just out of respect and hierarchy, we need to talk about the one non-freshman first, and then you can talk about the younger players. But just tell me about this roster and who they are and why you've been so successful.
Well, Macy Hitchcock is our only returner. So she's our junior. The girls call her Mama, and she's been doing outstanding. I mean, obviously anyone that knows Macy knows she has the best personality. She's like always bubbly, has the greatest smile that lights up any room. But, we had such a phenomenal culture last year and had a ton of success. And she lost a bunch of her best friends, 6 of her best friends. And now, to come in and just continue that culture, that strong work ethic, that really competitive nature that we have on the women's tennis side, and just the joy that we play with and that we practice with on a daily basis really stems from her. And I think that she's made the girls feel so welcome and truly are part of the Furman family. And a lot of that stems from her personality.
But it's something to be thrust into a leadership role like that, perhaps when you're not expecting it. To be the only upperclassman and everybody else under you is freshmen. I mean, whether you want to be a leader or not, people are going to look to you, and obviously she's embraced it.
Oh yeah, she's definitely embraced it. She's especially the first semester. I mean, obviously the girls are a little bit more, understand how Furman works now, but there was a lot of questions that I'm sure she got that first fall. And we had 3 internationals on our team this year, 2 from England, 1 from Canada, but so she's been there for them, and just can't say enough good things about Macy.
Well, let's start talking about your kiddie core then, the ones who have been kind of the backbone of what you've done.
Yeah, I mean, we have 6 of them, so I don't know where to start. You asked about the success this year. I think it has to do with part of it is my freshman class, because all of them have truly stepped up.
And it goes back to the fall with doubles, right?
Absolutely. That was really, really special. So we had Elle Warren and Lily Murphy qualified for the NCAA doubles championships. And to do that as a freshman, they were one of 2 all freshman teams to qualify for this 32-player event in Orlando, Florida. And that's pretty cool, Dan. So that was an awesome fall, probably one of my favorite falls we've had since being at Furman. Just really impressive, the composure and just getting that experience under their belts. I think is going to help us down the road. And they're just two sensational players who really complement each other so well, game style wise, and they also have a lot of fun as well.
So that's two. Who are the other four?
We have the two from England I told you about, Molly Robinson and Lily Doherty, and they've gotten way more comfortable, and just to see them progress and it's just obviously it's so cool to see them more confident and more vocal. Part of what makes college tennis so special is just you're out there with your teammates, and so now we used to kid them last fall, like, can't quite hear you. Are you saying come on? Are you saying go Dans? And now they're loud, and that's kind of fun for us all. Bianca Cerrone, such a great athlete, such a great person from Canada that's joined the team. We have a lefty, Sasha Dimitrov from Alpharetta, Georgia, who's been was playing some really, really good tennis for us. We went undefeated on our spring break trip. Then we beat Virginia Tech. She clinched for us, and then unfortunately was out for the last month with a stress fracture. The positive news is we got her back, Dan, in time for our run here. So we're hoping to, continue the success we had this weekend. This weekend was her first match back in both doubles and singles. And just to have her on court again is just so cool for the team spirits, and just so fun for her, because it's not fun being on the sidelines watching. She was a good coach, but we'd rather have her play.
Yeah, that's why you recruited her, right?
Exactly.
So is there one more?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Who did I tell you about so far?
There's
so many of them, Dan.
Your two young ladies from England, one from Canada, the one with the name you wouldn't expect from Alpharetta, Georgia, Sasha, and then there's one more freshman, right?
Yeah, so we have at number 1 doubles, I've already talked about, we have Lily and Elle.
Okay.
And then at number 2, we have Bianca and me. And then at number 3, we've had right now Sasha and Molly, and then Lily Doherty. So that's the 7. The squad is 7.
I just want to make sure we don't leave
anybody
out.
Maybe you're thinking of my assistant. I do have a new assistant this year, Isabel Boulet, who's been awesome on so many different facets. But she's such a good ball striker still. So, and really good connections with the girls on the team. And she also makes homemade bread, Dan, and it is good. It's really good.
See, now you're going to make me even more need to come out and see women's tennis. Homemade bread? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's good.
And then, do you still get out and play in the course of the coaching?
I do, especially some quick volley games. I really like to try to go for some pegs. If I lose, I do have a little temper. I may have cracked a racket this year, but Isabel's so good now, though. So from the baseline, I'm gonna have her go out there, and just the quality of ball she hits is good pop off the racket, just like I hear when Elle Warren hits a forehand.
So do your young ladies, do they try to bait you into that so they can see if they can get you mad?
Oh, they sure do. They do a great job. Well, I don't like to lose, Dan. They know that. Luckily, they're the same. They don't like to lose either.
You take the bait. I get it.
I do. It's hard not to.
That's fantastic. Michelle Dasso joining us here on the show. How did you come across your new assistant coach?
Well, I knew she played at Ohio State, so I had a good relationship with her former head coach. So I had called, but I knew her name from the past. She's such a good player. She had such a good run at Ohio State, also played professionally. Her mother actually is also a well-renowned sports performance coach. So we had the opportunity to bring her in, and it was awesome. I think that really helped with the young team, and just we've talked about all year long. Yes, we have 6 new players that have never experienced college tennis, never experienced every match, but can we be the more mature team out there? And they've really embraced it. It's been awesome to see, but those mental skills go a long way in tennis, and how we carry ourselves on court, how we respond to errors. Tennis is a game of errors, and how you handle that and move on. And I think that's ultimately allowed us to go undefeated in a very competitive SoCon conference.
The fall is obviously important for a myriad of reasons, but here at Furman, where we always remind people that when we say Furman student athletes, the student does come first. And you've got 6 freshmen coming in to school here for the first time. They've heard about the academic requirements here, but they've never experienced it. How long did it take them to adapt to being a student athlete here? And one of the things I always hear that comes up is time management. Well, with what you're doing with your academics and study time and everything else.
Yeah, I mean, Molly Robinson from England got a 4.0 her first semester here. So that just kind of shows you how well they adapted.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very impressive. Coming from a different country, coming into a Furman, such an academically strong institution, and getting a 4.0. The girls on their team are really, competitive individuals on the court, but also in the classroom. And they really value their education and working with such great professors. That's what makes Furman so special.
Well, it's great that they can adapt that quickly, because I've talked to a number of athletes during my 15 years here. And I always ask, you heard about the academics here, but was it anything like you thought it was going to be? And they always say no, that you have to experience it as opposed to just hearing about it. Let me ask you about the international recruiting, because I know that's big in certain sports, and tennis is one of them. How do you get locked on to 2 players from England, 1 from Canada, other countries that you've dealt with over the years? How do you find out about those players?
Recruiting services, and also our Canadian, which I don't know if you count Canada. I guess it is international, but a former coach that I used to play with actually back in the day, and is now a recruiting agent, and worked with Bianca. So that's how I found out about her. But honestly, it's a little bit of a luck of the draw too, right? Like at the end of the day, you have to have a little bit of kind of luck when you're going through a season, staying healthy, and a little bit of luck when you go through the recruiting process. Because what's so important to me is I want passionate players that love the game and want to get better. And I'll tell you what, Dan, we have a group of 7 just motivated individuals that makes Isabel and my job, just so fun going to work on a daily basis.
So when you're scouting said players, are you doing most, if not all of it, by video? I mean, are you taking recruiting trips to England? I
did not. So that was via video.
Yeah.
But obviously the Americans definitely saw them play quite a bit. And it's really cool. We have a lot of different game styles on our team. And I think that's part of what makes such a special team too. We do have 1 lefty, Sasha, who's back, which is nice. It's a great training element. We have Elle Warren, who you can literally hear the sound of the ball when it comes off her racket, when she hits a serve and a forehand. It's a different type of sound. Then you have the craftiest individual I've ever seen, Lily Murphy. We call her the Murphinator. After,
I like it.
The Terminator, of course, but she just finds a way to make every opponent she plays uncomfortable. So, and then, like I said, Bianca, tons of athleticism there. Just Molly just is a road runner. This girl runs, there's not a ball anywhere that she can't touch, can't get to, can't find a way to put it in the court. So it's just fun to work with different game styles. And I think those that have come out to our matches this year, they've seen it, and they've seen the passion that we play with. And we're just so blessed and so fortunate, and we're just looking forward to a very, very hot SoCon tournament. And in Chattanooga, it's supposed to be 85 to 90 degrees every day. So that'll be, certainly a tough task. But I think at the end of the day, tennis you're meant to sweat when you play. It's a moving sport. So.
Yeah, conditioning obviously going to be a factor when right now we're running, watching the weather last night, the average temperature for this time of year is 73 degrees, and we're going to be hitting 90 by the time Thursday gets here. So we're running a little bit hot, as it says. I want to go back one more thing to the international recruiting, and you're watching these young ladies play by video. Can you really get a good sense of everything you need to know about them by watching video?
No, absolutely not. Yeah. So both of them came on an official visit to Furman. So that's when you truly get a good sense. Like, I could tell their character was great. Got a chance to meet one parent for both of them, or actually all 3 of them, Bianca as well. So, at the end of the day, you really get to know them on the visits. And to me, it's a win, such a win. You get to know their character. But when they come on campus, they see how beautiful this campus is. They get to meet a couple of the other girls, well, mainly Macy
Mhm.
and my great alum now. But so they had obviously a very good experience, and so glad they're here.
Visiting with Michelle Dasso, talking women's tennis on this week's edition of Inside Furman Athletics. You went undefeated in the SoCon regular season, which I don't care what sport we're talking about. Going undefeated in conference play is not easy to do. How were you able to turn that corner?
It had to do with my freshmen.
I sense a recurring theme here. Right?
Well, the joke is obviously there's 6 of them,
Right.
so the entire team is new, and they're obviously besides Macy. But I'll tell you what, the coolest part about this run too is every single person had to step up. I mean, Sasha is a phenomenal player, but she goes out with a stress fracture right before we start our first SoCon match. So we essentially played the entire SoCon regular season without literally our player that was playing 3 when she got injured. So credit to her, Lily and Molly really stepped up big for us. They hadn't consistently been in the lineup in singles and doubles. And I'm pretty sure they're undefeated at doubles, Dan, which is awesome. They really just to see how the girls just didn't make any excuses. That's something we talk about a lot. Like, adversity is going to happen. How do you respond? And just that, that they were prepared means so much to us, that they, embraced the role that they needed to step in. One of their teammates was down, and to go through that gauntlet and come out undefeated is so cool.
We watched it with the men's basketball team this season at a level that I've never seen in 40 years in the business, and 22 years now as an NCAA Division I broadcaster. Never seen injuries and everything hit like that did. But the point, whether it's that number of injuries or whether it's just one significant injury on a smaller roster, adversity is going to come. And one of the old cliches in life, not just coaching, but it doesn't make it any less true, that adversity doesn't build character. Adversity reveals character. And obviously it revealed a lot of good things about your team.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously what Bob Ritchie did with the basketball team was pretty inspiring, right? Again, they didn't make excuses. They kept battling, and he just, year after year, it's so fun to follow his team.
We'll talk about the SoCon tournament here in just a moment, but you also mentioned to me before we started that you wanted to talk about some facility upgrades.
Yeah, I mean, we have such a beautiful facility, but I do want to point out we have a couple donors that have really stepped up. Chris and Marcia Samalas invested in some new indoor tarps. So now we have black indoor Furman branded tarps that just bring so much to the indoor facility. I think it helps men's team, women's team, alum, people that come into our complex, and it looks beautiful, and just so thankful for that. We have a new indoor American flag. I'm a patriot here, Dan. So that's awesome to see. We have new outdoor benches, 26 new outdoor black benches. The old ones were pretty rusty. So just so many upgrades, and with our 13 outdoor courts, our 4 indoor, we take a lot of pride in the facility, and it's beautiful. And, Coach Southern, I think, has just been instrumental to me as a mentor, continues to give back to the program, and always want to keep it looking sharp. So when she comes back to our matches, she's pretty proud of the facility as well.
And you want a facility that reflects the quality of the program. And this has been a top tier program in this conference NCAA tournament program for a long time. And you want something that reflects that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous school, but when people come to our tennis complex, I want them to be awed. And I think we really have that awe factor.
So let's talk about the SoCon tournament coming up this weekend. You said in Chattanooga, you're going in as the number 1 seed, finishing 7-0 in the regular season. So, the short answer to this is just keep doing what you're doing. But how in a truncated time schedule, when you've got to win your way through this, how do you accomplish the ultimate goal and win the conference tournament as well?
First, you hydrate.
Yeah.
Second, you pack the sunscreen. Murphy needs to pack the lip balm as well. No, I mean, at the end of the day, listen, the target's on our back. Every team, you got to expect they're going to raise their level. They're going to be hungry. They're going to want to beat us. The challenge is, can our team respond? It's pretty tough to go undefeated and then turn around, go to the conference tournament in 90-degree heat and repeat, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to take it one match at a time, but we got to act like we've been there before with a bunch of girls that have not been there before. But I think Macy's going to keep them in line. That Mama Macy's going to do her thing again. But no, we're excited about the opportunity. The best thing we have going for us is we have a bunch of competitors
Mm-hmm.
and that love to be around each other. At the end of the day, Dan, we don't want this season to end because we want more time together.
Is there with freshmen, you know, sometimes we worry about the learning curve and pressure and all that, but is there also sometimes an advantage to not knowing what you don't know?
I think so, right?
Mm-hmm.
Knock on wood here.
Right.
But you know, hey, credit to them. They've been so coachable. I mean, Isabel and I love working with them on a daily basis, and maybe that's part of it. They're just too scared, Dan, because there's a bunch of freshmen. So we'll see sophomore year if they still listen to us or not.
Apparently, they're not scared, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. You know, if you don't know what you don't know, you're just going to go out there and do what you've always done, have fun, play hard, and hopefully the results will be what they have been.
Yeah, keep it simple. Trust your training. Go out there, be feisty.
So. SoCon tennis, women's tennis, by and large, is it like basketball? Is it a one bid league to the NCAAs?
Yeah, we'll have to go out there and get 3 wins to get invited to the NCAA tournament. We'll have to win the tournament.
Okay, so no multi bid for tennis either.
No.
Yeah. Isn't that a shame? Are you finding that all of the transfer portal madness and everything that's going on, has it permeated its way down to you at this level as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's permeated everywhere. Obviously, listen to your podcast last week with Jason Donnelly. There's a lot of change in college athletics. You just embrace the change and you go with it. But right now, obviously, we have a class of 6 freshmen. We have 1 junior, so no transfers currently on the team. And when I think about what I love about coaching is I love the development piece. I love the relationship piece. So thinking about having this team together, the same exact team next year is pretty darn exciting, Dan.
Yeah, and becoming, excuse me, at really every level of college sports is becoming more and more rare to be able to carry an entire roster over from one year to the next.
True.
So you're opening. Nothing like getting off to a quick start. 8:30 in the morning on Thursday.
Yeah,
right.
I'm very excited. We have the morning shift. Obviously, you know, the earlier we play, the better. It is going to be quite toasty out there. So hopefully we go out there, we take care of business. If we can be efficient and effective and get off the court and, you know, get our bodies ready for the next match. But that's our goal. But Western Carolina is going to test us. You know, like when we played them, they were pretty beat up. They only actually had 4 healthy players at that moment. So it'll be a completely different team, but our girls are going to be ready and, you know, do their best and take care of business, hopefully.
So I'm looking at the schedule right now. That's the only thing on the schedule. So is it if you win the whole thing, is it 1 match a day for 3 days, or are you playing multiple matches?
Yeah, I love the way that it looks. That's how every match should be like that, because you got to take care of the match at hand.
Right.
But it is the reality of the situation is if we don't win on Thursday, our season's over.
Right.
So that's sad. Hopefully Friday pops up after Thursday. So and Saturday pops up after Friday, but we'll find out.
That's the plan, though, right?
That's the ideal plan.
So what will you do as far as prep goes? When will you leave for Chattanooga? What are you doing in the meantime?
Yeah, we're leaving early tomorrow morning around 7:45. So quality practices this afternoon will be another one. We've had some individuals and short week though. Yeah, we played on Saturday, had Sunday off, and then just Monday, Tuesday, and then we're off.
Let me ask you one more thing before we get into wrap-up mode here, because when we talk to Jeff Hull, for instance, in golf, and they're going and playing different golf courses, and they all have their own personalities, different links, and those things. Theoretically, when you're going to play tennis, everything is supposed to be the same. You know, the same rectangle, the same height of the net, the same width, the same length, all of that. But do individual facilities have their own personalities when you go someplace? I mean, is going to play at Chattanooga markedly different than playing here at Furman?
Well, it's always nice to play at home. But Jeff Hull, by the way, what a legend.
Yes.
He's so fun to pick his brain and learn so much. No, that's what we talk about, Dan. A tennis court is the same dimensions anywhere we play, right? The ball is still 2 ounces. So at the end of the day, go out there, trust the training that you put in. We obviously know we're playing on the road, and you know, you can only focus on what you can control. There might be the heat, obviously, is going to be a different beast that we've really played in all year. But if we get some rowdy fans, we get some rowdy fans. Hey, they just went out on the road and clinched the regular season playing at ETSU. So that wasn't exactly easy.
Right.
But the girls responded really well. And we just got to keep our minds on what we can control at the present point and see what happens.
I get the sense that you're having a lot of fun with this group.
We have big fun.
That's good.
So one thing we did, we had a alumni reunion in the fall. So that was my first one since being at Furman. And a lot of Coach Southern's team came back, and they told me a story about how they had this these words, big fun, and how she used to like kind of go back to that. So I got a sign for our office this fall, and it says big fun right above my door. But at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Our girls, we work extremely hard, but we have a lot of belly laughs and a lot of good memories, and hopefully that continues.
Yeah. And again, the most fun is in the winning.
I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
It's true.
No, I mean, it is what it is. That's why you do what you do. You compete to win. You learn life lessons along the way, win or lose. But you don't do this just to show up and be happy. You do it to go win. And that's by and large what you guys have continued to do. It's a marvelous program that you have, and we're looking forward to seeing how things shake out this weekend.
Sounds good. Me too.
So Thursday morning, 8:30 against number 8 seed Western Carolina in Chattanooga. You can go to FurmanPaladins.com, follow the matches there, find out if there's video. If you can't make it, I'm sure you'd like to have some Furman fans up there. Right?
Oh, that'd be awesome. The more purple, the better.
There we go. And not Western Carolina purple.
Oh, you're right. That is shoot.
It's the only game twice a year in basketball I have to do a double take when I see a purple shirt when we go to an arena, because otherwise I know that that's a Furman fan, but not with the Catamounts. Listen, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dan,
for your time. It's always fun to catch up, and we'll look forward to doing it again soon. That'll take care of this week's edition, regular edition anyway, of Inside Furman Athletics. Back again next Tuesday as we continue to do what the title says, and that's take you inside the Furman Athletic Department. Until then, for Michelle and all of us here in Paladin Country, I'm Dan Scott. God bless you, and so long, everybody.